What's up, farming family? How y'all doing today? Today, we are checking out the Shapeshifter from Chorus. This is a 16mm 18K carbon fiber paddle. It's got 3 layers. I'll get into the specs later. It's a hybrid shape paddle. I have a code with them. It's Farmer. If you use that at checkout, you'll get a 10% off. I will get a kickback from that. I like letting you all know that and being, upfront and clear about what's happening with the channel. But yeah, let's get into the RPMs and stuff, y'all. The face of this paddle has 3 layers, 18K carbon fiber, then the second layer is T700 raw carbon fiber, and then the bottom layer closest to the core is fiberglass. It's thermoformed, it has foamed edges, it's unibody. The paddle's frequency that it makes noise-wise is 368 Hertz. The music note would be F4. The length is 16.3. The width is your typical hybrid shape. It goes from 7.5 up to 7.7. The core thickness is 16 millimeter. The grip length is 5.5 inches. The grip circumference is 4¼ inch, and the overall average weight is 8.2 ounces. Let's start with the pop. Okay, there's 3 layers, right? So when it comes to the slow game, when you're doing dinks and drops, when stuff's not coming at you with a lot of pace, it feels somewhat like the R1 Pulsar. But whenever anything's coming at you with a decent amount of pace, or you're putting a decent amount of pace on the ball, it has a little more pop to it. And I think that's because of the fiberglass that's the 3rd layer on the bottom. Because I don't think soft shots being hit at you or you hitting soft shots is causing the fiberglass to, help a whole lot. But when there's like a full swing, you can tell the fiberglass is definitely there. Now, when it comes to the power, this is a little more powerful than some of the other hybrid shapes I've used. Now, it's not like anything crazy, just slightly more powerful than the Loco and the R1 Pulsar are. But like I said, that's probably simply due to the layer of fiberglass underneath the 18K and the T700. But yeah, overall for a power paddle, it's not a power paddle. I would still consider this all court. Now, in terms of control, much like I said with the pop, it's kind of subjective. Like if stuff's coming at you with a slow pace, I feel like you're going to have a lot more control over it like you would the R1 Pulsar and the softer version Gen 2 paddles. But if something's coming at you, with a little more pace, I feel like you're going to have to concentrate a little bit more because the pop will definitely increase due to the fiberglass that's on the face. Just beware of that. It's not anything crazy. This paddle is definitely controllable if you've used any other Gen 2 that's on the market right now. When it came to the RPMs and the overall spin of this paddle, it got 2006 RPMs. That puts it in the very top tier in terms of spin among all the paddles that I've tested and reviewed. I'll pop up, on the screen the paddles that I've tested and you can see where it ranks. But yeah, spin, definitely not going to be disappointed at all. This is a top tier spin paddle. So in terms of spin, if you're wanting a spinny paddle, this is one of them. In terms of swing weight, it's pretty average in terms of hybrid shape paddles. Mine was 117 in terms of swing weight, which is literally right there with most of the other hybrid shapes. Hybrids will generally go from like 115 to 117. Some will go a little bit lower, some will go a little bit higher, but just know that it's average when it comes to that. And the overall weight of the paddle was 8 ounces. Y'all know my feelings on the overall weight of paddles, and I tend to care more about swing weight and twist weight, but this one just weighed straight 8 ounces right out of the box. In terms of twist weight, has a 6.61 twist weight, which, just like the swing weight, is right on par with all the other hybrid shape paddles. If you play with another hybrid shape, you're not going to notice any difference. And when it comes to the sweet spots of the hybrid shapes are pretty generous compared to elongated paddles. You're not going to obviously get the same feedback hitting the edge as you do the sweet spot, but if you're hitting even remotely close to the sweet spot, you're going to notice that the ball still has, a decent chance of going over as long as you're hitting a good shot. It's not like the elongated paddles where you had to hit very close to the sweet spot for it to make a difference. When it comes to value for your money, this is $189.99 paddle, which is $190 basically. This is getting up near the limit of what I recommend for people. The thing is, when I played with this paddle, I loved it. I would definitely put this in my top 5. Where at in my top 5? Not exactly sure. Definitely in my top 5 though. I kept wanting to go back and play with it. And even though I've done everything I need to for the review and I know how it feels, I still pull it out and play with it. It is a crazy good paddle. And the people that I think are really going to like it are people who are wanting a lot of spin, and people who obviously, the face of that paddle looks clean. That has nothing to do with how it plays, but the face of it looks different than all these other raw carbon fiber paddles. It's got a lot of spin. The fiberglass, down as a third layer helps when, you're putting pace on the ball for speed ups and stuff, which is a little more pop than all the other Gen 2 hybrid shapes have. So yeah, value for your money, I would say it's definitely worth it. Definitely a top 5 paddle out right now that I've tested. And if you've played with it, slap your comments down below. Like usual, I want to know what you all think, even if it's a different opinion. Until next time, stay safe, have a good day, drink plenty of water. Peace, y'all.